Thank you. I want to thank the organizers and the reviewers for the opportunity to present to you today. And I'd also like to thank the AV guys and facilities guys for making this so wheelchair accessible. I really appreciate it. Thank you. So and now for something completely different, I'm going to tell you about a biomaterial that we've been working on. Yeah. So I'm not a surgeon and I don't play one on TV. I'm a tissue engineer and I've been working in biomaterials for over 30 years now, discovering, developing, and delivering them to patients and to physicians like yourselves. And what I'm going to tell you is really our observations from me and my team. So I hope you enjoy it. In Brazilian football games, they like to say aqui é galo, which is here is the rooster, but I like to play with words, so it looks like galoo. So really what I'm talking to you about today is something like a galoo, but I'm not here to tell you that we've figured it all out, but here's a whole bunch of opportunities, right? Sealing leaks, adhering tissues together, affixing implants in various places, creating tissue separation. That's what we're trying to do and with this new biomaterial, and so I want to tell you a bit about it. We call it PCECM for photocurable extracellular matrix. It's biologically sourced and it's fully biocompatible. It's visible light cured in less than 30 seconds. It has a strong and tunable performance. It adheres to wet or dry tissue, and I'm going to show an example of that. It's completely resorbable over a period of just a few weeks. It's microporous, allowing tissue to grow in, and it's room temperature stable, so you can keep it on the shelf. And it has, as I mentioned, both adhesive and sealant type properties, and so we're actually going to ask you over the next months to years to help us figure out where its best applications are. So we did a little bit of feasibility work. This is a tissue histology from closing a vascular puncture. So and we showed that it participates in tissue remodeling with cellular infiltration, and we zoom in. The whole point of this is that over just a few weeks, we get very good tissue infiltration, cellular infiltration with very little inflammation around it, and it resorbs in less than 1 month. The arrows point to what was left of the implant after about 3 weeks. So here is a demo I'm going to do for you. We got a little piece of pork here, and let's see if we can get the video to run. So this material looks like this. This is a syringe of the PCECM. It is mixed out of 2 syringes, so it would come in a package with 2 syringes. You have to hand mix it so that it can be activated. It comes out in a liquid form that's about the consistency of honey. So you can see I'm placing it on this pork chop, and this pork chop's not wet, but it is moist. And then I'm using a piece of our BioDesign graft and putting that on top of it. And then I'm going to bring in a blue light. It's a dental light. You can get you even use a light on a cell phone if you need to, and I sped it up, but you have to cure it for about 30 seconds. But it transforms that honey-like substance into something that's much more strong and bonds, again, this graft to the tissue, and I can completely pick up the pork chop with it. And to further explain that, this is a piece of the BioDesign that's been rehydrated, and I did the same thing. So a wet graft against a moist tissue, and we were able to stick them together. So what have we tried it with? Well, first of all, it also has these properties. It's very strong. It's elastic, so it's similar to almost like a rubber cement. It has an adhesive strengths, tensile strengths that are measured here. The numbers probably aren't that important to you, but for example, burst pressure on a vascular tube like is several hundred millimeters of mercury, and it doesn't swell over time, so it will stay, in place and not cause disruption in that way. What else have we tried it in? We've tried a pulmonary leak model. We've done some in vivo work trying to close a sheep lung that had been punctured, and we showed good results at 2 and 4 week time point. We also showed that there was minimal inflammation around it again, and little or no bleeding. We've also done this in an intestinal leak model in rabbits, looking at many punctures in the intestine, and then followed them for 1, 3, and 7 days to make sure that they weren't indeed getting peritonitis, et cetera. And so we're finding that it has some real utility in essentially as a sealant anyway. So I'm here to tell you that we need you to help us decide what the best use cases are for something like this. It is not commercially available for human use, but it is commercially available for vet use as of just recently. So we're going to be bringing it, of course, to human use as we get the best use cases from surgeons like you. help us to figure out what design and conduct the clinical studies to get it done and bring real breakthrough to patients, at least we hope. So the take-home message is initially we have this photocurable ECM that we've tried out in GI and vascular uses and lung uses, pulmonary. It has a tissue adhesive and sealant properties. It's highly biocompatible with minimal inflammation. Histology shows good cellular infiltration, and it resorbs over a few weeks. And we're looking for enthusiastic and capable collaborators to help us bring it to patients. So thank you.